Somebody the other day asked me, this reporter, he said, I heard that that it'd be a cold day in hell before you get your theology from a woman. He says, don't you kind of think that's demeaning to the genders? I says, ask Adam what he thought about getting his theology from a woman. I said, it damned the whole world. I says, the reason your sorry soul's going to hell is because a woman told Adam what God thinks about things. He says, you're pretty strong about what you believe. I said, not half as strong as what God knows you ought to believe. I wouldn't get my theology from a woman. I don't mind if mama teaches the kids. I don't mind if a strong lady and a wise woman and a gracious, godly woman takes the lesson from the pastor. Hey, all you listen to me right now, I still believe it'd be a cold day in hell before I get my theology from a woman. I'm a preacher. I wasn't mama called, papa sent. No woman ever got me involved in the ministry. I didn't follow a woman in the ministry. A woman didn't write this book. Not one woman wrote the scriptures right here. A man wrote the Bible, got it from God. A man hung on the cross. His name is Jesus Christ, and God called a man to lead the church here. Hey, I'm glad I'm a man.
I'm Chris Carr, one of the many people that's involved with Soul Force, and fundamentalism is something that initially was a set of 5 principles. It was like called the fundamentals. It was like that was used by early Christians. It was like to really kind of define what their set and their desires were. It's now kind of shifted to be kind of this strict adherence to a set of orthodox religious principles, and the way that fundamentalism actually affects us and why we are concerned with it is that fundamentalism has been used characteristically within religion to exclude. It was like to say who's in and out, and it was used in historical context and currently within regards to race, in which somebody could say that I am better than you and I can mistreat you because you were not like me. Slavery is a perfect example of that, where the Bible and religious tenets were used to oppress and keep people of color down. We see it in terms of class and class warfare, in which we actually see that people are mistreated and said that you have less than, and therefore you are not less, therefore you are not godly, and I can choose to alienate you. And we obviously see it in the work with LGBT, in which it says that you live a life differently than I do, you love differently than I do, therefore you are bad, you are ungodly, you are stained, you are sinful, and I want nothing to do with you. More dangerously, I think that you should not exist. The reason we are involved in Soul Force and we say that we have to work to end this is because that's not an acceptable position. It's like fundamentalism is like in that context is not in agreement with the tenets of Christianity. So within the agreement of the tenets of any of the major faiths, in which we say that our connection to one another as people, as children of a divine being, of connectors, it was like in a societal context, is most important. And if we limit that, if we use fundamentalism to alienate, then we are not community, we are not a part of the church, and we are not united, and that is the problem. So when we end and break down these walls of fundamentalism, we create community, we create the idea of church, and we create families. And that is our connection. That's what we believe in working for, and that's Soul Force.